The new Japanese financial year has already started now, and I hope that last year's results went well for you. The reason I do this show is to help as many people as possible improve in the areas of leadership, sales, and persuasion power. I hope it is helping, and if it is, then please leave me some feedback and some comments. Today we are talking about how to be the authentic you when you give presentations. That doesn't mean be the authentic disaster because you are hopeless and just not professional. What we are going to cover today is a checklist for you to access so that what people see when you present is the best possible you, the professional you. Build your personal and professional brands. Let's find out how we do that. Welcome back to this weekly edition, every Tuesday of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, President of Dale Carnegie Training Japan and best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery. We are bringing the show to you from our High Performance Center in Akasaki Minato-ku, the business center of Tokyo. Why the cutting edge? In this show, we are looking at the critical areas for success in business in Japan. We want to help advance everyone's thinking so that we will be at the forefront, the cutting edge of how we flourish here in this market. Before we get into this week's topic, here is what caught my attention lately. Japanese firms operating in Asia see Vietnam as the most attractive investment destination in the region, thanks to the country's high economic growth as well as its strengthening position as a production hub and its large consumer market. Once firms establish themselves in Vietnam, they consider expanding their operations into Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar. India was the next major interest, attracted by its high growth potential. China was the third most popular investment spot. In other news, currently Japan hosts nearly 275,000 students from other countries, with 93% coming from Asia, 40% from China, 23% from Vietnam, 8% from Nepal, and 6% from South Korea. In 2017, 79,580 Chinese students were studying the sciences at graduate schools in the USA, compared to 999 Japanese students. Of those Japanese students, 410 were studying social sciences. The number of Japanese students studying natural sciences in the USA at postgraduate level was a mere 0.8% of their Chinese counterparts. Finally, in January, a scheme to divert funds sleeping in bank accounts for 10 years or longer for use in initiatives in the public interest, such as assistance to families in poverty, has started. About 70 billion yen, or $600 million, is expected to be deemed dormant each year. These monies will be transferred to the management of the Deposit Insurance Corporation, an institution that deals with bank failures. Bye-bye your money, folks. This is episode number 76, and we are talking about your own leader voice. それでは行きましょう. So let's get going. Why are so few business leaders good communicators, given all the education they've received, starting at varsity and then later through executive training that they've received via their own organizations? Leaders, let's stop kidding ourselves. The reality is, if we can't talk to people, we can't lead successfully. The TED Talk phenomenon, which has spawned TEDxEverywhere, should be having a positive impact on leaders. It would appear, though, that not many of us are taking any note. Leaders are often told they need to be authentic. That means to some that it is fine to be dull, dense, distant, obtuse, monotone and forgettable. Dramatic oratorical flourishes are not required, but congruency is a must. For leaders, this means matching the way they communicate with the content of their message. When we speak using a monotone delivery, placing equal stress on each word, sadly our audience just tunes us out. They start to look around for other points of stimulation, such as how we are dressed, our body language, our voice quality, almost everything except the actual key message content. Authentic failure as a communicator is probably not what leaders have in mind as the desired outcome when they talk about being authentic. Leaders need to match their vocal variation and facial expression to the message being delivered. Congruency means emphasizing keywords or phrases through either adding or subtracting voice projection. Whispering is a powerful as yelling technique, as long as the message content is aligned with the delivery mechanism. Dialing up and down the energy and speed when speaking creates the necessary vocal variation to keep the audience focused on what we are saying. Leaders are often notable for speaking while exhibiting a wooden face, meaning they maintain the same facial expression throughout their talk. Passable, good, striking, awesome, even exceptional news is greeted with the same dour expression as announcing disaster, doom and gloom. The simple rule is, if it's good news, let your face know and smile or show happiness. If it is bad news, look serious, worried, upset, fearful, depending on the content and context. Get the face involved because it is 1,000,000 times more powerful as a communication tool than what is up on that screen behind us. Voice speed can be an indicator of confidence or terror. Most of us, when nervous, tend to speed up, and our ideas can rapidly begin to trample over the top of each other. Pausing is needed to allow the audience to process what they've just heard. Getting through it in the time allotted by the organisers does not equal getting our message across to the assembled audience. What can we do better? Find out more when we come back from the break. If you want to become a fully competent and confident presenter, then do the High Impact Presentations course. We are all being judged when we speak, be it in the internal team meeting or in a public environment. Be it the big bosses, clients, or an industry audience, everyone is evaluating us. Don't blow it. Get the best training on the planet. Do the High Impact Presentations course now in either Japanese or English. If you want to sell more and do it more easily, do the Sales Advantage course. If you can't build trust, no sale. Can't design excellent questions to understand the client's needs? No sale. Can't present the solution convincingly? No sale. Can't handle objections properly? No sale. Can't close? No sale. Master the sales process by doing the Sales Advantage course now in either Japanese or English. Welcome back. We can also speak using our body. Our facial angle allows us to become inclusive and capture all of the audience, no matter where they are seated. The front, middle, back, the sides, the leader makes eye contact to engage with people in all parts of the room. Eye contact means actual engagement, looking at an audience member in the eye and speaking to them for around about 6 seconds. Less than that makes for a rather fleeting, perfunctory type of interaction, rather fake engagement. On the other hand, looking into their gaze for much longer than 6 seconds starts to burn into their retina and becomes uncomfortable. Our feet positioning, funnily enough, is important when speaking. Pointing them straight to the front and using only our neck to swivel our head and engage the audience is projecting confidence, credibility, and solidity. Oftentimes, speakers are unconsciously facing their feet such that they are favouring only one side of the room. They subsequently only engage that half, leaving the remainder of the audience in supreme neglect. Slouching, standing off balance, standing too wide at the base, projecting arrogance, or nervously striding around the stage may not be projecting the professional image that leaders desire. Our hands can be a dilemma too. We either overemploy them so that they're like a monotone voice, everything gets the same unbroken level of emphasis, or we don't deploy them at all, behind our back, resting on our hips, thrust in our trouser pockets, held protectively in front of our body, are the usual suspects in the crime of neglect of our hands' communication strength when speaking. Gestures are powerful tools to emphasize the key points we want our audience to remember. Being a good speaker is not the goal. Being a good person who can speak convincingly is the real goal. There are plenty of spivs, spinners, crooks, dodgy politicians, shifty CEOs, etc., who are verbose and, quoting that brilliant Aussie gem, can talk under wet concrete with a mouth full of roofing nails. Leaders need their own voice to fully reach their audience, to persuade, to inspire, to be credible and memorable. You are the brand, and what you say and how you say it matters. Be congruent, authentic, be you, but be the best possible you. Action steps from today's show. 1, always be congruent between our content and our delivery. 2, use vocal tone, facial expression, power and speed to vary the delivery. 3, keep our eyes fixed on the audience the whole time, engaging them one by one. And 4, work the whole room and not just one side. And 5, remember, you are the brand. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show is here to help you succeed in Japan. Subscribe on YouTube, share it with your family, friends and colleagues. Become a regular. Thank you for watching this episode, and remember to hit the subscribe button. Our website details are on screen now, enjapan.dalecarnegie.com. Awesome value, so check it out. Please leave me some feedback on YouTube. I would love to know how this show helped and what other topics you are interested in for me to cover. Remember, I am here as a free resource to help you. So just tell me how I can help you best. In episode 77, we are talking about what we can learn from 17 generations of traditional Japanese service. Find out more about that next week. So, yoroshiku onegai itashimasu. Please join me for the next episode of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. We are here to help you, and we have only got one direction in mind for you and your business, and that is up.